Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. I'm back in the shop and I'm loving it. Life is good. So, today was a beautiful day, wasn't it? Today, here in the Northeast, it was like in the upper 50s and it was sunny. And, you know, this is the time when spring is right around the corner and the animals know it and all the birds start to sing. Check out some of the singing birds that I heard today. Listen to those birds. Aren't they beautiful? Okay, well, this was the birds you heard. Check this out. I was looking for a project, you know, an upcoming project. Got these old pair of clients. Listen to this. Listen. Isn't that cool? I was going to do it, and I just said, how cool is that? It's like a little bird sound from my pliers because they're so dried out. So before I worked on them, I thought I would share that with you. Okay, let's get today's project. Okay, that was fun. That was really fun. Let's go to today's project. Today's project is from JonnyT over in the UK. And Johnny and I were conversing. Johnny's been a long time follower of the channel. And about over a month ago, Johnny and I were conversing, and Johnny had a wrench that he wanted to send. And I said, well, you know, coming from UK and this wrench, and I did want one, so we made a trade. And let me show you the wrench. Now this is a King Dick wrench, and I've always wanted one. Unfortunately, here in the States, these are hard to find, you know, and it's so funny because they're very common in the UK, and just the opposite with the Billings. Billings are, you could find no problem here, but in the UK, it's very hard to find a Billings wrench. Now, you can see here, the markings, it says King Dick in here, and it's a big wrench. And let me show you the size of this wrench. You know, this is 9 inches, you know. Now they came in all different sizes and stuff. I've never had one this big, and it's a beautiful wrench. It's in nice, beautiful shape, you know. But I know it's this is a type of bluing that they put on there. It's not even a bluing, it's a factory finish. And you know, it's nice and everything, but the problem is the edges. Now, it's hard for you to see here, but the edges on here, they really, when you put any kind of a grip on here, I like a softer edge, you know, because you can really torque down on an edge that's been softened. And it's a beautiful wrench, but I know the way I like to use it, and I want to use this wrench, even though we, you know, very rarely use monkey wrenches. But let me show you what it says here. It's got the trademark, King Dick trademark, and it's got a registration number here, which is pretty unusual. You don't usually see those, so it is stamped. But nice wrench, nice overall wrench, great condition. And let's see what we can do just to make it a little more user-friendly. Okay, here's our wrench broken down, and you could see it has the little knurl nut, and it has a little spring in here, a little flat spring that takes up some of the slack, so I guess you don't have any play. And over here, we have a nice, looks like an Acme thread. Yeah, it looks like an Acme thread, beautiful. They're strong threads. And now, but again, the edges, they're all, these edges, the first thing you learn as a machinist is every edge has to be broken. And by broken, it means you have to take either a stone, a file, or something and get rid of all the sharp edges, because anytime you handle something, you know, or anything comes off the machining, it's always going to give a sharp edge. When I tell you the edge is sharp, I'm not kidding. I mean, I could literally shave wood with this edge, you know. So when I say they're sharp, but we're going to soften them, we're going to make it nice, and let's get to it. Okay, we are calling this project done. You could see I had no intentions of taking off all the finish, but there was just so many pit marks and everything that I just had to keep going. But the edges, all the edges now, are so smooth. I mean, they are just, I blended everything in from left to right. Just now when you hold this wrench, it feels like just glass, you know. It's just a beautiful wrench. And that spring's a little tight, you know, in here, and I guess that's done so that this doesn't move at all. But you could see here the King Dick, we were able to keep all the lettering, which was tough because with the you know, when you get some of the markings here, you really are straddling a line of trying to go to a polish and keep the markings and letterings of the wrench. Let's see how this works. It's a beautiful wrench. Let's try it out. Okay, we have a little bit of a dilemma. You see here that spring, that flat spring there? When I'm going to put any torque on this wrench, it's going to force that up here and lock up. You see how that moves? It shouldn't do that. And I'll tell you something, it's so hard to turn this. I don't know if that's the way all King Dicks are. I don't like that spring. Okay, here's my fix. I took out the spring that was in there that was just horrible. And I used a piece of Delrin. Delrin's this high density plastic. It's like a space age plastic. And I turned this on the lathe. And this will fit in here. You can see, nicely fit. And now that will use that as a spacer instead of a spring. And we'll see how that works. There's what it looks like installed. And look how nice and smooth this is now. One finger operation. Before it was very hard. What's nice about Delrin, it's oil resistant, it's gas, it's a really hard plastic, but it's machinable. And you know, you can make that out of brass or anything, but now there's zero play in that. There is no movement at all. Let's try. Okay, we're over here at the wrench tester, and you can see now with the spacer in here, all you have to do is with 2 fingers, you could snug it up, get it to where you want, and the wrench just operates beautifully. This is the way this wrench is supposed to operate. I mean, if I don't understand what that spring was doing in there, if maybe my buddies out in the UK can tell me if this is original, this was added after. This is horrible. I don't know who designed this, but horrible design. And now with the spacer, this wrench just operates the way it should. Great upgrade for this wrench. Beautiful. Now it's nice and smooth. Really love this wrench. Johnny, thank you so much. And I appreciate everybody watching, my buddy out in the UK and everybody else. And thanks again. Have a nice day. Take care and bye-bye. Oh, hold up. What about Johnny's wrench? Well, if you want to see Johnny's wrench, let's check it out. Okay, this is the wrench that JonnyT picked out from a choice that I sent over there of the Billings that I had. And this one here, you can see it's a Billings Model A. And this is the nicest Billings I've ever had to work on. The only thing is it's black, you know, but it is absolutely no damage, hardly any use to it. Only a little bit of surface, you know, chipping there with the paint, but this is the one, and Johnny wants it obviously polished up because nobody likes a painted wrench, even though it's a perfect example. You put this next to a polished one and everybody's going to pick the polished one 9 out of 10 times. So let's get working on this. You could see when they painted, they didn't do such a great job on grinding because I guess they knew they were going to paint it. So you could see here, and we're going to make all that nice. So let's get to it. Okay, here we are at our quick post wire brush evaluation. You could see here. Those are the actual grind marks from the factory back then, and we're going to take it down, not to a mirror polish because we don't want the fingerprints on there, but we took the knurling nut, looks good, and you can see here the Billings. Again, there's no markings, but you can see here that's kind of a rough casting on here. They used to have graduation marks on some of the other ones, but we could do a better job than that. So let's get to the sanding. Okay, we're done with Johnny's wrench. We were able to keep the original markings for the Billings, you know, the machine marks on top. That's a little difficult to keep, but any of the markings that were original to the factory, we tried to keep. Polished it out though, especially along the edges here where you hold the wrench. I mean, that's what makes it so nice, and it operates just like a dream, like they all should. And we kept this the satin, so it doesn't show the fingerprints like this on top will, but just a nice wrench. You know, these Billings, they always were. Johnny, I hope you like it. It'll be, you should have it by now because I'm not going to do this video until after I hear from you. All right. Okay, now we're really finished. So thanks very much for tuning in. Take care. I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.